Cracking. Let's start properly now. So this is where I'll edit in the actual video. Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome today Jennifer, aka MamaFurFur. As you might have been able to tell from the title of this video, Jen's managed to, in the last 2 years, right Jen?
Yep,
in the last 2 years has managed to get her YouTube channel to help her generate an extra £10,000 a month on the side of her regular work, at the same time as having a family as well. So to give you a bit of a rundown on Jen's channel, she does a lot of sort of financial support content. So she talks about investing and, but maybe not in the traditional sense that you might have seen where people are generally scamming. It's sort of very credible. It's got a nice British way of it. It's not very shouty and in your face, but it's about you know, legitimate investment over long periods, not get rich quick schemes. And yeah, I think we bumped into each other on a local, a Facebook group, right?
that sounds a bit dodgy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I must say, I'm in Glasgow. No, it was on, you posted in the small YouTubers forum, and that's, I'm not going to diss it in any way, but it's a very notorious dumping ground for videos.
That's basically what I do, and I did it with this as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I think I was on my Facebook and this video came up with you lot talking away, and it was describing your journey of posting 3 videos a week for 18 months, if you remember that one. And yeah, I was like, that's cool. And so I put it in your comments, and there we go. But it's only been a couple of weeks. It's felt like a lifetime, hasn't it, Ed?
Yeah.
You invited me to your wedding and everything.
Well, I know we've sort of, I felt the same about the YouTube groups on Facebook, and I do sort of dump my links, but I've actually made much more of an effort to network on there now, because there's some interesting people like you out there. So
exactly. And then there's other people that you'll avoid.
Yeah, exactly.
maybe you should.
I'm just looking for diamonds in the rough, diamonds in the rough.
Exactly.
So we'll go into Jen's story basically. I like to try and cut to the end first. Jen, can you just tell us how much you managed to make from your side project, YouTube, and the business around it last month?
Okay, last month I made £10,941 pre-tax.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Okay, so
roughly.
You know, this isn't one of those YouTube ads you see where someone's telling you how they got rich quick overnight. What we're going to go through is actually a really legitimate system. There's another video that Jen made about this last week that's on her YouTube channel you can check out at the end that will talk you through it in more detail too. But before we get started, I thought I'd just play a little game. It's called Getting to Know Jen. I was going to make a jingle that went by that popular song, but I didn't want to get a copyright ban. So Jen, can you give us one thing you wish people knew about you, one thing nobody knows about you, and one thing that isn't true?
Okay, in any order, or do you want them in that order?
We're going to guess. I'm going to try and get a few people interacting in the comments to see if they can guess.
Okay, which order they are? Okay, the first one is that if I watch dancing or watch cheerleading videos or anything that's like stage routines, I can almost happy tears cry because I'm so involved in the vid. Like anything to do with dancing, I can be totally captivated. So that's one thing. Okay. The second thing is I'm an introvert. I like my own company. I like reading a book. I don't like people very much. So anything outside of that is a little bit out of sorts. And the third thing, I was born in England and I'm actually English.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we want to get any comment interaction there. I think I know which one of those isn't going to be true. So I'm going to start off by saying nobody knows about you. You're an introvert.
No, well, probably. The two are quite close. The one about dancing. So I used to be a cheerleading coach. So my first side hustle, I was a dance and a cheerleading coach just for fun, as you do. So now every time I watch like Dancing with the Stars or something that's really magnificent in stage dancing, I can literally feel myself almost happy cry. I'm like so in it. I'm there. So yeah. Well, so the thing about being English isn't true. I'm not English in any way.
Yeah, we've got last one was a false on the screen here, and also Chris Rouse, the second was a fib. So
oh, there you go.
Okay, good. So there's a little bit of getting to know Jen there. Just something a bit light-hearted to start. And I think first question really, your channel's called MamaFurFur. What on earth does that mean?
Yeah. Okay, so when I was 16, I worked in a shop, as you do when you're 16. And because there was another girl called Jennifer, they called me Furfur, because obviously small, so double Furfur. And then like a nickname, my kids and everything was always Mama, right? And then so one day I just thought, you know what, I'll put the two together because it sounds quite cool. It sounds quite different.
Yeah.
And I actually started a blog about 5-6 years ago with the name MamaFurFur, and it stuck. I made a couple of videos for YouTube, and then before I started making money content, I already had a blog, I already had a YouTube channel kind of there,
Yeah.
and it just stuck. And I thought it's actually a name that sticks in your mind, so that it's like an alter ego almost. So I'm cool with just having it. And people, like, if you go into Google, it's one of the terms that ranks for me, obviously
Yeah.
far above anything else. So people type in MamaFurFur, investing, MamaFurFur. So it's cool.
It's one of the problems now when you start anything, a business or a YouTube channel, is finding a name that either says what it is for keywords or just is completely unique. So fair enough.
Yeah, I've got both.
So what was it that kind of made you start? Because it was only 2 years ago you started YouTube. What was it that made you start up?
So it was about 2 years ago and a little bit. It was March 2018, and really it was. I've been making videos off and on since about 2017, something like that. But it was all about motherhood. So it was all kind of just tips, and I just loved YouTube. I saw other people doing it, and I was like, I've been a salesperson all my life since leaving university. And I thought I could do that. It looks really good fun. And so I made videos off and on, and the channel was just like slow, and also I was just doing it for a bit of fun, nothing in it. And then I can remember distinctly, I made one video about how to create a budget, and I was like, I really enjoy talking about money. I'd been going through my own kind of money journey anyway, paying off debt, learning how to invest. And I really, you know how they have the light bulb moments, you're like, you feel you're called to something?
Yeah.
I literally felt like it was like, I should make videos about money. And the great thing was, when I was searching for stuff about investing, paying off debt, there was nobody from the UK that I could find talking about it, in YouTube. And I thought, well, if nobody's talking about it, I'm going to talk about it. And that's it. So rather than, a lot of the US stuff is also, it's just a bit dull. And I wanted to kind of give that spin on being, female, making it kind of interesting, breaking it down. And that's it. I can remember the night specifically that I was like, I'm going to make money videos, and that was it.
Yeah, that does kind of set you apart, actually. One, being a woman in this niche, because it's really male-dominated, but also being British as well. And I think you're right. I think Brits generally would rather watch other Brits. No offence, Americans. We do like you.
Totally, exactly, yeah.
But they seem to like our accent more than we like theirs.
But see, the Scottish accent either works in my favour or doesn't, because somebody thought I was Irish, I think, a couple of times. And then, what part of England are you from? I'm like, no, I'm Scottish. There's a totally different country.
I was going to say, as long as they don't think you're English.
I'm fine. No, I'm okay with that. I'm over that.
So on your YouTube channel, you kind of started out originally, and it looked like you were making sort of different types of content. It didn't seem to be a set niche. And then suddenly, as you just sort of spoke about, it broke into the finance. Was there just like a particular trigger point or did you do a video and then go, oh, that worked better? What caused that?
No, it really was, like, I'm going to say the opposite to a lot of YouTube gurus will tell you. I never chased the views or things like that. I actually just always went with topics I thought people were looking for, like, genuinely. And you can do your SEO analysis, but it was more topics I couldn't find videos on. So, like, I literally went back to how to make a budget, how to understand the stock market, and these videos are now still some of my highest performing because they're so long in the algorithm. But it literally was, as I say, that moment, that night, I decided I'm going to make money videos, I'm going to talk about investing, I'm going to talk about things about money. And I just kind of then went with it. And especially, I think in the past, I want to say the past year out of the whole journey, I've really kind of even more been certain that this is my calling for YouTube. And I'm okay to see where it leads me. I'm okay to talk about things like starting a business, entrepreneurship. There's tons I could do, but yeah, that's what I just feel it is.
I'd say after 2 years, if this wasn't your calling and the results you're getting, I'd look forward to really knowing what your calling was.
No, but the lovely thing, what I really hope resonates is I break everything down, because if I've had to learn it from scratch, I want other people to.
Yeah.
And that's what I really hope, that I get passionate, I get excited, I talk too fast maybe, but I really want you to be able to learn how to do things yourself and copy me and that kind of thing. And I honestly just feel like nobody was talking about it in the UK. And I think now there's been a generation of actually news channels are coming because they've seen a kind of group of us make videos already.
So with you mentioned earlier about you weren't necessarily targeting things just because of search. How, because to get to 30,000 subscribers in 2 years is quick, It's very quick.
Is it? Do you think so? I think it's been slow.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I mean, yeah. For our channel, it's a nightmare. But for, I mean, usually speaking, they say it takes about 150 videos to get lift off. So you got in there nicely. Had you had any experience before with production then, where you sort of knew what you were doing, or did you have to learn all that from the start?
I've just totally winged it. Like honestly, I've learned about SEO. I've watched all the people who've been YouTube gurus as well. Like I could go into names, but if you typed in YouTube how to get more views, I've done all that. But I think consistently, I think my niche is quite small, or it was like a year or so ago. I think that helped.
Yeah.
But I genuinely went back to basics. I literally thought, as you kind of talk about, like you look for topics that people are searching for but want answers. Like when you were talking about your Google Trends video, like how to find those breakout topics, like that's the kind of thing you should be doing. And you should be saying, right, what's the conversation starters? But it's funny you saying that it's quick. For me, it feels there's moments that I wish it would speed up, because I see other like US channels completely blow up in a short space of time, and I look at them and think, oh well, it's possible. But
well, I think
we'll see.
I'm going to get onto that in a little bit later. But from the revenue you've managed to generate, which we'll talk about in a bit as well, they might have more followers. They might not necessarily be doing the same amount, because with this following size, Jen's got about 35,000 at the moment. To do five figures,
35 and a bit.
Yeah, yep. You've done things incredibly well to get 5 figures from 35,000 subscribers. I think that's pretty amazing. So, did you ever have like a viral hit that helped you grow the channel, or has it all just been like a machine working that's grown together?
I don't think I've got a viral hit at all. Like my most popular video has like 150k views over the past 2 years, which I don't think that's viral. When I think of viral, I'm seeing people with like 500,000, 1 million. It's more a case of, I think it's like the steady content in a niche that brings people back. I also think, and this is why I resonate to you guys as well, I think the personality side, I do a lot of videos that aren't just like, this is knowledge. I try and show, like, I show you my budget every single month. I show you how we're investing. I talk through what strategies I'm using. I think I'm trying to show that dimension, that it's real life. It's not like I'm saying I'm a thought leader and that's it. I'm showing you kind of warts and all with my life. And I think that really helps.
Okay, cool. Just bear with me 1 second, sorry, I'm just playing with the stream because I'm not sure if it's lagged or not, but down my side it just looked like it went a bit funny. That's the beauty of live. If anyone's in the comments, if there's any issues with the stream, do let us know, otherwise we'll crack on. So I never know what's going on. I'm looking at so many screens here. Never attempt this on your own, that's all I can say. So anyway, yeah, so that's a great point to make. Everyone seems to think viral hits just happen, so well, it does for some people, doesn't it? So when it comes to when you release a video, what do you do afterwards to get more views on it?
I will use Instagram. So that's my favourite social media channel. I'm not really big on Facebook, so I use Instagram to direct people if I think it's noteworthy. I'll mention it on my messages and my stories. I don't put it in the feed usually. I think stories work better for those quick hits, so I'll do that.
Yeah.
And if it's a particularly important video or something to call out, I'll put it in my community tab on YouTube as well, so that pops up on people's feeds.
Yeah, I'm showing that now.
Yeah, outside of that, really, it's just kind of, I've always had quite a strict schedule. I like to put out certain days at certain times. And I think that has helped because I've got that regularity as well, that people come back and check out my videos.
So your videos are going on the same time and dates each week? So like ours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I was putting out 4 or 5 videos a week in lockdown, but now I'm back to a Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. So that's what my schedule is, and it used to only be 1 video a week, but I've kind of moved up to 2 to 3.
Okay, I'm just being told to stop switching screens because apparently that's dropping out the audio.
Can, like, hit you in the background.
Yeah, I've been showing everyone else your when you're talking, I'm showing people your website and so on. So that's gone now.
All right. Okay.
I'm just having a read through the comments there. So do you use the stats in Google Analytics, YouTube Analytics, to show you when to post, or have you found that out yourself?
I've just gone with what I felt was natural. So I'm going to be the anti-guest that you probably want to be a guru on YouTube, but I just went with what felt right. So for me, like I've looked at roughly, the analytics says that most people watch at night time for me, so that little darker area. So again, but I've kept that schedule for so long. It used to be like 6 o'clock at night. I felt that sweet spot was. So I think it's more you go your own intuition as well. When are people likely to watch your video as well? At lockdown, I was putting them out at 7 o'clock in the morning because I wanted 12 hours of people watching right away.
Yeah.
But now I'm moving towards 3 p.m. because I know that people will be going back to work. So it's you kind of just like use your mindset. When are people likely to catch your video first of all?
Do you think that's made quite a big difference?
I think the initial watch time goes up because I'm thinking kind of strategically. So I think it has helped overall. I actually think people tend to batch my videos more than just catch my latest one. Because it's information based, there's not that urgency, if you know what I mean, to watch. So I think it's more people might catch me at 3 p.m, 5 p.m, and then watch a couple of my videos and then come back the next week and things like that.
Because that's often the problem. If you're a smaller YouTube channel, you don't really have enough data to ever get. It will show you when people are online, but you know, the difference between 10 and 15 views is not really telling you much.
No, I do it like in the first couple of hours. First 6 hours I maybe get 1,000 views on a good video, so that's quite good.
So I'm just going to say a few hellos to some people in the chat. So we've got Diana Wilson, who is another small YouTuber, similar size to us, does sort of stuff on courses. Virtual Dinner Party, who I believe used to make travel videos, and unfortunately Corona hit that, and he switched to cookery, which is quite a nice switch, really. But last time I spoke to him in the comments, it seemed like things were going well.
Cool.
So I wanted to show people your website, but I can't at the moment because if I switch screen, your sound goes. Although I might be able to change that very quickly. No, I can't. All right, brilliant, live, love it. So you've got a website, and this is something that I think people need to be doing a lot sooner in their YouTube journey. Just talk us through your website, when you set it up and what you do with it.
So I set it up before the YouTube channel because obviously it was the name MamaFurFur anyway. And what I've been maintaining it all through this. Usually I will put posts up every time I do a video. So I'll put a post up with the video and also like keywords and kind of rough overview. Especially in some of my videos, I might list affiliate links for products I mention. So it's kind of a central go-to just in case Google finds me, you know, and wants to redirect. But the main things on my website are actually like my store. I have a lot of things that people can buy, lots of different products, and different ways that they can interact with me and things like that.
Okay, cool. I'm actually just able to get that up now, so I'm going to give the guys a little walkthrough of what you're doing on here. And this is part of the way that you generate revenue, isn't it?
I don't get revenue direct from views to my website, but obviously it leads on to my store, it leads on to affiliate links and things like that.
That's right. So they come on through via YouTube, and they'll come into your shop and purchase things.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And also with Google will rank MamaFurFur and they'll send them to my blog first of all rather than YouTube. So it's things like that.
So talk to me through some of the things that you're selling on your store that people are buying, because you mentioned in your other video that you sell spreadsheets.
I do indeed, yeah. So I've had that for about 2 years nearly as well. So I've got a spreadsheet that is basically, it teaches people how to budget, how to pay off debt, how to work towards financial freedom, how to work out your net worth. So it's a whole collection of spreadsheets that basically manage your money for you, kind of teach you to do that. So that's been hugely popular. We've sold nearly 900 copies of that spreadsheet. I know, sell spreadsheets is good. And again, because I use it every month and show people me using it, it helps people to see it working. I also have a book. I've got an Amazon book that you can buy that's called The Master Money Blueprint that I self-published. I also have courses. So I have an investing course and a budgeting course. And last week I also did a virtual conference mastermind class. And what it was people could go on my website, buy a ticket, and then join me on Zoom. So anything that I'm doing, I kind of send people to the website, and I get about maybe 7,000 views on my website a month. So it's not huge, but it's still
just it's enough.
But it's still like, it's not huge compared to some other money
Yeah.
blogs, but it's not meant to be an information database. It's meant to be, they're looking for me. And then on the main screen, you'll see it's got my kind of stats, and then find me on my YouTube, my podcast, I'm just leading them through everything.
Okay, I'll put a link to your website in the comments later on at the end. But when do you think someone with a YouTube channel, if they're not a business already, should start a website?
Oh, right away. Like it should be, if you're thinking about your YouTube channel, if it's a name or your name, just go ahead and buy the domain name as well, because I guarantee if you want a success for your YouTube channel, people are going to be typing your name into Google, and it all just helps. Even if you have a one pager that is literally, this is me, this is what I do on YouTube, click. I think it's just good to have that presence. And also as a side hustle or potential revenue, it's another way that people can see your brand and find your brand and your presence and what you stand for.
So someone's just asked in the comments, this is Mike McDonald, can we clarify, was the 10K a month just from ad revenue, or does that include like the courses and affiliates and so on?
It's everything. So I make that very clear. It's not just ad revenue, it's all everything combined. But I don't think I will share the percentage, but it was certainly a good chunk of that money was ad revenue and things like that.
We're going to get into that in a little bit and break it down a little bit more as we talk about you and how you're going to work with brands. So yeah, okay. I think that's great advice. People should be looking at websites. Things like Squarespace and Wix make it really easy and really cheap now. And also, Google's our friend. If we can get content ranked on there, that's even better.
Exactly.
We write our stuff, so I can just whack it up. I was telling you this, wasn't I, last week? The benefit of writing. You just whack it up and you've got a blog post. So, at what point did you start investing in production kit? We spoke earlier before we came on live that you bought some new kit for live. What did you start off filming with, and then what did you move on to, and what triggered that?
I can't remember what I had. I'm sure I had a Canon 7X Mark. I've probably said it the wrong way around. You know, the Canon 7X Mark II, or is it G7X Mark II? The vlogging camera most people have, right? It's like about £400 or £500, which is a huge investment when you've not got any money coming in from YouTube. But had that, and then I added a Rode mic. So this external mic that I'm using, that was part of that. But it was probably, from the word go, I invested in something better than my iPhone to use. I think because I felt that I wanted to make videos of a certain production quality. And so I was doing all my editing myself. So I just had my PC and got some free software, as most people do. So I didn't have a Mac or anything. But what I found over like last year in July, a year in, I invested in a better camera. So the Sony 6400, that's the one I use now, which is really nice. Again, that was an uplift. Obviously, I wanted 4K videos, so I got that. And then we've just invested some more into, I want to describe it as like a portable editing booth. So it's going to be on a rolling stand that it's got my boom mic and it's got the camera, and I can basically move the location really easily. So that's another thing we've upgraded that we're going to put into production to use, so that I've got different views when I'm doing videos. Nice. So I've got big ideas. So it's kind of like every time I've tried to invest in things that will take my quality level up. So I bought a Mac last year. I bought, Final Cut Pro X, just little things like that. And obviously the upsell is your knowledge as well. You're having to learn new skills. But I think YouTube is competitive for a good reason. You want to be engaging. You want to be exciting to watch. And that's obviously what I'm learning from you guys as well. Like, I'm literally still learning everything. And I think that's a really great, humbling bit to be in, that, at the start, try and invest if you can a little bit, because the version of you that you want to become, it won't be it'll be a no-brainer decision when you get there. You'll want to invest in better kit or better technology as you develop your skills.
And have you noticed any particular increase in, data positively, like in your analytics, when you started up in your production? Did you notice that reflecting in your following growing or the response you got?
I think it was more people were starting to comment. So I don't think I would say like the moment I put out 4K videos, it was like that, because I think it's hopefully me, my content, the way I'm presenting. But I felt more confident. I felt yeah, that I was making videos that I were seeing other people make. I felt I was trying to be that quality as well. And I think it's all about how you want to present your brand. So all these things just feel like the natural
Yeah.
progression for the brand you want to
It's
put out.
interesting. We've seen a lot of clients do the opposite and fly in and buy a lot of expensive kit for lockdown. And I think there's going to be a lot of
Right.
secondhand kit because they don't realise that you've got to learn how to make videos first. And it's even,
Yeah.
you know, with a simple camera, there's still quite a lot that can go on. And when you dive into the deep end straight away,
Absolutely.
it complicates things a
Exactly.
lot.
I don't want anyone to get into debt over buying a new camera. That is but you know, like for me, that investment in a camera of that price at £500 was a
Yeah.
lot because it's out of your money. But that was my kind of limit at that point. And then it wasn't until there was money in the business then that I was able to buy other things. So I'm very, like, as my money channel says, don't go into debt for anything. Just think about what's natural. I know I
Yeah.
could do a whole lesson on that. But every single investment I've made, it's cash flow that's funded it. It's not been put it on a credit card and then I'll make it up. It's always what the business will
Yeah,
allow.
no, that's fair enough. You definitely don't want to be getting into debt. Although if you do, there's the second-hand resale value of cameras is quite
Yeah,
good,
exactly.
so you won't go too bankrupt. So we've sort of spoken about search terms and how you build the channel and so on. And I think people generally associate YouTube with ad revenue, and they know that comes in.
Okay.
But one thing I didn't think people might associate so much with the YouTube channel, maybe less than 6 figures, is getting brands and working with them and having them actually to pay to be in your videos. And you've
Yes.
been approached by some big brands actually in the investment world anyway. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
How did they approach you, and sort of what was it like the first time?
Well, the thing is, when you have a YouTube channel about cryptocurrency and money, I get quite a lot of random emails. But yeah, just literally every brand that I've worked with has come in my inbox. So make sure you have your contact details in your bio
Yeah.
of your channel. I'm not going to name the names, but they're big brands or big deals in the investment world, and even things like pensions and some things about shopping. But it's very much, you remember, as a content creator, you don't want your brand to seem as you'll work with anyone. So the way I kind of position, and I think the beautiful thing is, because I have a day job, I can kind of take away the element of needing to work with brand. I can be very picky. And what I've from the word go is, if I can resonate with the brand, and also if I use them. So all the brands that I will be involved in, I've got a real affiliate that I like their product, I use their product, or I think it's going to add value. I also turn down quite a lot as well, because it's a conflict of interest. I can't be doing too, I would seem
Yeah.
messy if I'm promoting this and then this and then this. So again, make sure you decide how you want to represent your brand. If you want everyone to sponsor, that's fine. But for me, I'm very strategic about who I actually do deals with, if you like, and what I allow.
Yeah, that makes sense. So can you remember how big you were when you got your first brand come to you and asked to partner up?
Maybe 1,000 subs, maybe maybe about a year in.
1,000?
No, that'd be about 9 months in.
That
That's
must have been a bit of a
quick.
shock to you, 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, but also I think you're in the space that you probably assume. I've been in the blogging world for a little bit through
Okay.
various, kind of in that world. And although I didn't take any sponsored content, I knew that brands want to work with people. And so when it came about, I just, again, was in the mindset of, I'm going to set my amount high because I will have a standard. And also it kind of negates the people who just want cheap. I'd rather be, I want to get a good value for their time, for my time, and also who I'm picking. So it was about 1,000 subs, and probably about, how many watch time? Maybe even about 60k watch time, 60k, something like that, 60,000 views a month or something. Yeah, so definitely at the beginning, a little
And
bit.
were they after anything in particular? Did they ask to see stats, or how did that work?
Oh, so that's my bugbear. I'll get onto that. No, so they actually wanted to sponsor a segment in a video. So it was about 30 seconds, me showing a website, and I felt good about that. And it felt like the video. So I went to them with concept ideas, and they were happy. My bugbear is when people come to me and then say, could you show me views, analytics, blood type, urines, like I'm not up for that. Like if you've come to me to work with me, I'm assuming you like me, you like my content, you like my channel. If you then want me to prove why you should give me money, I'm just kind of like, it's not in our best interest. You're not obviously vibing off me at all. So I'm kind of, it's the Scottish in me. I'm like, come on, make it worth my while, and then walk away. But yeah, so anyone who wants to see stats or analytics, it changes so rapidly. And then you just get stuck in that conflict of, well, we pay so, and we'll maybe touch upon that, we pay so-and-so this amount, and you're asking for this. It doesn't matter. It's my brand. I control what I allow on it.
So how did you work out your worth to start off with?
I just said it. I literally, no, I know, that's what I say, I'm so the anti-YouTube guru here, but I literally decided an amount that would mean that people automatically couldn't afford me. If they really wanted to work with me, they'd be willing to wiggle with me. But also the other thing is, I don't want to put out sponsor videos every week. So I have to make it worth my while that actually I may be doing, like honestly, I maybe do one a month or one every 3 months, like really, really spread out. And that's because I set my bar really high, and they have to want, like you could get into a whole messy trying to work out all clicks and views. Just don't enter it. What is the value you want for your time and for the longevity of your channel? Because remember, this is uploaded now, but what if you hit 1 million subs or 1 million views in a month's time or 2 months? You know, you've got to think about longevity as well. So the total anti-YouTube guru here.
I think that's a good point, actually. Often when influencers get approached, they get given a set amount on how much it's worth at that moment, especially on Instagram. But it doesn't have the same opportunity as YouTube. It won't just carry on for years. No. So I think if anyone's in the position watching this where that's happening, that's really good advice. We've got a question here from Simon. He says, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to endorse that you refused?
Oh my goodness. I think somebody came to me with like vapors. They wanted me to, on a video, like smoke a vapor. And I'm like, no, well, delete.
It's usually a sign that it's either a mass blanket email or you've got a really inexperienced company with working with people in these positions, so they don't offer much money anyway. Okay, so I think it's not something that's spoken about that much on YouTube because there's so much stuff on there about the algorithm and so on, but the actual business management side of it, you seem to have got down really well. So I thought we'd play a game. It's a role-playing game. But I thought what we would do is, I'm going to play the part of the useless marketing person at a brand, and I'm going to throw, and these are some, I'm going to say what my role is based on real-life comments that I've seen before with how influencers are approached. And I want you to sort of see how you would deal with them to teach people how to not, just say yes because they get offered something for free. Okay?
Okay. I have done this many times, by the way. I'm an expert at it.
So good. Is this from your sales role? I guess you're used to this. Well,
I'm used to
so often these sort of things come in an email, so I'm going to be the useless marketing person. I'm going to start off a bit obnoxious because this marketing person seems to think they're a big deal. So he's like, hi Jen, love the channel. We'd love to work with you. You're a little bit smaller than the creators we usually work with, but I thought we could come up with a great deal and you'd get quite a lot of exposure out of us being in this. So I'm willing to offer you a business film booth, keyring and hat in exchange for you to do a video post about us. Thanks a lot, Ed.
Hi, Ed.
You're typing here.
It sounds like we could work together. However, I have X amount of fee per video, and then when you have budget, you can come back to me. Thank you, Jennifer.
Oh right. Oh okay. Well, we usually only pay creators with like 100,000, and you're quite a long way off with that. Could you half your price for us, maybe?
No. No, honestly, what I say is, no, I'm sorry, that's my fee. Come back to me when you can afford. Along those lines, so come back to me when you've got budget. I'd love to work with you.
Okay, so we spoke to the management team, and we really do want to work with you. So this is our final offer. You can have a key and a hat, and we're also going to give you £50 and a ticket to a paid meal for two at the Harvester.
Is it with the current budget that the Chancellor and the £10 deal?
No, that's not included, I'm afraid.
No, again, thank you for the kindness. Really want to work with your brand, but this is my fee. Please come back to me and consider me later. So I'm really hard. I'm like, no, this is my fee.
That's a good point. So how responsive, do they come back? Have you ever had anyone you've knocked back to come back to you later and go, we can afford you now?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing, like, it's not a game of bluff or anything. It's literally set your fee based on what you think your time's worth and the value you bring. And to be honest, like, everyone's got marketing budgets. If they really want to work with you, if you set the tone of what you're worth, then they will come back if they genuinely want to come back. And I've seen companies like, oh, I say this and they go, right, we'll offer you this. And I'm like, no, my value's this. They go away. Okay, Jennifer, we'll offer you this. All right, okay, now we can talk. And the thing is, even then, just because they offer me an amount of money, it has to be agreed. So I've turned down offers even when it's been like this, because I've not liked what they actually wanted me to do, and it wasn't worth my while. So yeah, stick to your guns, because for them, you're actually a marketing resource, a marketing presence. People have budgets for this. So accordingly to what you believe you're worth, because honestly, it means that you might get turned down 100 times, but then it could be the 101th time that somebody agrees and it's the right brand and it's somebody you want to work with. It's for the right amount. So never undersell yourself. It's so important.
It's interesting. I think I've tried to explain this to people before, where the cost per click on a Facebook ad nowadays might be £2 or £3. And it will cost them, tens of thousands to get to the same size audience they maybe give in a creator who they give 500 quid to or something like that. So influencer marketing is a bargain, and what they say is actually trusted as well, rather than just a cold ad.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And the other flip side is, remember, your niche is also important. Like, so I base my fee because I know there's only a handful of UK creators in my niche. And, a lot of times I've had back and forth emails where they're like, no, we'll just, you can affiliate our product, you get like a point of every click. That's fine, but you've still put in time to edit, make, produce a video. So always think of it like a job where you're doing a project for someone. Make sure you can pay your bills, make sure you can, do what you do. Don't just settle because you think you should jump at it and someone else might not come along. It's kind of like buses. There are always going to be many buses. Make sure it's the right one you get on.
So with your last month where you went over 5 figures, what would the percentage look like in brand deals, ads, paid courses, products that you sell on your shop to make that up?
I would say probably about roughly a third of it was YouTube ad revenue. And then it was probably a third of it was sponsorships and affiliates. So it can be a whole mixture of different things involved with that. And then the other third was probably products to do with spreadsheets, books, courses, everything. And I even do coaching and things as well. So that's probably the split. And that's the nice thing, that YouTube is, because of the niche I'm in and the views and all that, it's a good chunk of that in comparison to the rest as well.
So if we just touch on affiliate marketing, for anyone that doesn't know, affiliate marketing is basically you become a salesperson for a product, they give you a link, you put it below the video, say, so if you look below our videos, one for TubeBuddy, if someone clicks it and makes a sale, you get a cut. Yeah. Were you aware of that before you started, and how did you pick who to become an affiliate of?
So because I was in the blogging world, I knew about affiliates, and obviously, again, some companies will approach me to offer me affiliates, but again, the only affiliate links that I will use and mention, unless I'm using the product, I aren't going to put random ones in there. So it's more a case of especially in my realm, where I may be using investment apps, or I could be using, I'm trying to think of just different things like that. If there's investment apps or some kind of packages I'm using to do, I always make sure that I've got some way to tell the company as well that I'm referring them. So it's just a nice little open dialogue, and it can vary hugely. Like some companies, it can be tiny percentages, like Amazon. You might get a 0.5% of a sale, but obviously that adds up. And then some companies, it might be a click. If the person joins or does it, then you get an amount back. But yeah, many multiple affiliate ways to do it.
But it's definitely something I think people should look out for within their niche. It's quite hard to find them. The Amazon ones not particularly fruitful with the amount of percentages they give.
No, but again, like if somebody looks at, so I have affiliates for Amazon for my equipment, because I'll actually get people asking me, what camera, what mic. So for me, they'll get a great product, but honestly, I can't stress with Amazon, it's like a penny, or it's really small, but it's not a burden on them in any way. Their price isn't being influenced. It's just I get the thank you for referring someone.
Yeah, I think Amazon have got plenty of money to give away as well.
Yeah.
So when you're at a point where potentially every video is worth you get paid to make, how do you work out what to make? Because there's part of you that must just think, I want to make money, and then I often find that on YouTube the stuff that doesn't get enough views is the most important stuff, especially with what we do, because no one even knows to search for it. So how do you split it and work out what to make?
I go a lot on my intuition and what I think people will. So if I've got quite a surge of new subs, let's say in a month, I'll be drawn back to do some maybe basic topics again, because I'll know that people will be looking for them. And also, I think you've got to imagine your audience is ever evolving. So the people who join me at 1,000 subs, well, there's 24,000 more of them. So I want to make sure, like every year I get different knowledge as well and different ways of teaching. So I do quite a lot of recap ones. I also, like Google Trends, which you gave to me, you gave me that insight of how to use that, which has been fab. I also use TubeBuddy, vidIQ to look at the ranking for certain words. But literally, and I think all content creators do this, I have this huge dumping ground in Asana of all my ideas. And also I'll look and see what other people are doing, not in a copying way, but actually, all right, that one seems to be doing quite well for that person. Oh, I like that. Right, how could I spin that? How could I, you're taking inspiration, and even reading the newspaper, or like my one today was about the second wave of the stock market. It's ranking on Google, like as the first video already. So it's stuff like that you think, what could people be like clickbaity as well a little bit.
The best thing about that is when you start popping up on Google, if people are searching for it, you end up getting embedded in press releases and newspaper articles. You just could bring in.
I've actually had a couple of newspaper interviews in the past couple of weeks and stuff. So that's exciting that people are finding me and then linking my videos as well. So
and have you found that when you do something with a newspaper, you'll notice a bit of a spike in views or subscribers that day, or is it just
No, not really, because it's the same thing with like Instagram and Facebook. I don't find that they relate actually to your content. Like if somebody promotes you on Instagram, you don't find the increase. It's more if someone on YouTube mentions you. A couple of UK-based other content creators have mentioned me, and that's when you find that people jump if they're on the same platform usually.
Okay. Cool. So my next question was going to be, how do you decide what video to make next? But you spoke about TubeBuddy, and so we covered all of that. Where would you want your channel to be in the next year?
Next year, I would love to hit 100k subs. I've talked to you about this. That is the big. I have a place in my bathroom wall. So on our bathroom wall is all the certificates, right? So we've got my degree, I've got my awards, we've got my son's swimming certificates, right? All the major players are on that wall, and I've got a space. I've got a space for that 100k. I'd love to be one of I think I would be the first UK channel talking about money with 100k subs. Wow. I would love that. Yeah. There's only a little group of us really who are there's one person who's about 40 or 50k, I think. So maybe they could beat me, but I would love that. I really would love that.
It's a shame it's going in the bathroom, really.
No, I love that, because when you're sitting
you can admire it. Yeah, I guess on the mantelpiece was what we'd have done in England.
No, well, it's on the toilet. It's super cool. It's super cool.
So it's we're sort of coming towards the end now. I just think it'd be nice to round up. If there was one thing you would advise to smaller channels to generate, not necessarily a following size, because I don't think that matters so much as when it comes to revenue generation. It's about getting people on board that matter, rather than that, don't buy your products or help with sponsorships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to channels to be able to monetize it in the same way that you have, if there's one killer tip?
I think what's helped me is from very much like the first couple of months in, I was thinking about products and other things that could support my viewers. So the first thing I did within a couple of months was I put out the spreadsheets. I wrote a book. It was things that I wanted to do. So it wasn't money from YouTube. I was using YouTube as a funnel to kind of help people and then move to the next stage. And I think that's always been my backbone, that actually I want people to have tools and services. Like in your own experience, your channel, hopefully you'll get the ad revenue, but you're funneling people to you and your services, right? That's the whole point, to be seen as a thought leader. And then you never know what comes, but just also don't chase the dollar. Like, don't think that the goal is actually to make 1 or 2K ad revenue. Think about the value you're bringing, come from that space of helping people. And I truly believe the rewards come as long as you're consistent, because it's definitely a labor of love, definitely.
Yeah, it's hard when it feels like it's going slow, but
it's humbling.
Yeah, but it's actually a lot easier if it is tied to a business, because when you start making sales with small numbers, gives you a kick up the arse.
Yeah, exactly. And I think YouTube's great because having a consistent schedule as well. So it's kind of like a podcast. Have a consistency where you put one video out a week at least. Be consistent, and just use it as a tool also to get people to know you, but have some fun and make some videos that you can look back on and say, wow, I did all that. 150,000 people have watched that.
I always think it's an amazing portfolio. So you've just got a massive knowledge bank of whatever it is you know about in your niche, and that can open doors. I still think there's a market for anyone who's got used to making videos, like talking to camera self is just to go on Upwork and present and produce content for other people. Suddenly they're into marketing. Yeah. We've done that before. I've presented courses for people and stuff, just because I can present and talk to camera, which a lot of people can't. So there's plenty of ways in there. We've got a message here from Mike who says, you're well on your way. 35,000 in 2 years, 100K should be here pretty soon. I think I agree.
That'd be nice.
So I'm just going to see if there's any more questions that might come flying out. When we do lives, there's a bit of a lag, so we'll chat and then they get our message a few minutes later. Otherwise, what we'll do is we'll round down. I'm just going to go through the chat and just see if there's anything else that I missed. Nice little side income, someone said.
I know. I'm blessed.
Yeah, definitely. People moaning about me cutting you off your audio. Nope, I think we're good. Okay, brilliant. Jen, thank you so much for your time. It's been really valuable, and I hope it's helped any other people out there watching or who will watch this in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.